So do you really need a written and signed contract with your architect or designer on your next construction project? Yes, yes, and yes. And in this video, I'll tell you why. Stay tuned. Hey, Jake with JWK Design here, helping families just like yours create their comfortable modern home. On this channel, you'll find videos on great modern renovation ideas, as well as the details of working with architects and designers just like this one. If you're new here, consider subscribing below and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. A contract isn't just a list of design fees. It's actually a document that protects you and your designer. A contract should clearly outline the responsibilities of both parties. And when everyone on your team knows what's expected of them, you're on the right track for a successful project. Now, there are two types of written contracts that you might encounter. The first being a proposal plus a letter of agreement, and the second being a full contract. You might see a letter of agreement on a project that has a limited scope of work, and it would include items such as the scope of design services, the payment amounts and structure, as well as a scope of work excluded from the contract. I typically use letter agreements in my business for the initial research and planning stages of a project, and potentially in early concept work as well. Now, as you move into more detailed documentation and permit drawings, and then into construction management and administration, you'll want to have a full contract in place. That contract would have a more extensive list of both your and your designer's responsibilities, a listing of the documents that your designer will deliver to you and or your contractor, and there'll also be a good number of clauses regarding legal protections. These would typically include the governing laws for any sort of dispute, mediation and arbitration instructions, any details on accessing the project site, and unfortunately, but necessarily, the grounds for suspending or terminating a project. Now, I will say, no matter how long or how good the relationship you may have with your architect or designer or contractor for that matter, I would avoid a verbal or a handshake agreement. There's just too much room for error there on who's delivering what, when, and even the smallest details forgotten in a conversation can really blow up into larger disputes as the project moves on. So I hope that gives you a good understanding of the general components of design contracts and why you need to have one on your next project. And if you have any questions on the design and construction process that you'd like to see answered in a future video, leave a comment below or reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram with the hashtag JustAskJake. If you liked this video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe button below. Share if you found it helpful. And until next time, thanks so much for watching. See ya.